So you want to watch movies or play games on a giant virtual screen, but you don't know if VR or XR glasses are the better option. There's a lot on offer out there right now, and they all do different things. I've been dabbling in this tech for a while now, and today I'm putting them head to head on all the important stuff, like setup, comfort, quality, and battery life, the lot. By the end, you'll know exactly which one's worth your money, because you don't want to make an expensive mistake, as there's nothing worse than tech that ends up living in a drawer. Trust me. But first, let's actually define what the difference is between VR and XR glasses. VR essentially puts you inside a virtual world. You're inside the video game with motion controllers that let you physically interact with objects in the space around you. You can also watch movies in VR if you want to, or even connect it to a gaming PC to play flat screen games using apps like Virtual Desktop. So if you want to play VR games in an immersive world, then you probably want a VR headset. You don't need to watch this video. But if you already own VR and are just curious about XR glasses, then make sure to keep watching. But for the sake of this video, we're specifically talking about movies and 2D flat screen games to help you decide what's better for those activities. And yes, don't worry, I'll be talking about the Steam frame. Now, XR glasses, on the other hand, are basically an extended display. Throughout this video, I'll mostly be talking about the Vitcher Beast, as that's what I've been using the most, but there's other options out there like the X-Real 1 Pro and a few others that are popping up as well. Now, these glasses don't do anything by themselves, but when you plug them into an iPhone or a laptop, or even a portable gaming console like a Steam Deck or Nintendo Switch, they unlock a giant display where you can watch movies or play games on. I just want to add though, there's a lot of new tech right now out there being labeled like AR or spatial computing, and it looks the same as these glasses, but they are slightly different. So we're not talking about them in this video. Now let's start with the factor I think is really important, and that's ease of use. Because when you want to just chill out and watch some movies or play some games, you don't want it to be complicated and time consuming. So with the XR glasses, all you have to do is basically plug them into your device and you're watching or playing games in seconds. But it also kind of depends on what you want to do, and I'll touch on that in a moment. But with the VR headset, there are a few more steps. You have to power it on, wait for it to boot, deal with the odd firmware update, and if you're playing PC games, you have to power on your PC and launch the streaming apps on both ends so they talk to each other. And none of it's hard, but there's a few more steps, and there's a lot more room for hiccups along the way. Now, of course, if you're plugging into a portable like a Steam Deck and a Zeus ROG, there's all those options for hiccups as well. Like for me, half the time I go to turn them on and they're flat. It happens way too often. Now, devices like the Meta Quest do have apps like the Xbox or Meta Quest app that let you stream your Xbox games directly to the headset. All you need is a compatible controller, a Game Pass subscription, and a pretty decent internet connection, and it can work great. But a lot depends on your setup and your internet connection, and it can take a while to get going. There's definitely different options out there on how you can play flat screen games on these devices. Now, the Steam frame isn't out at the time of making this video, but it is an upcoming VR headset from Valve, and it will let you play your 2D Steam games library straight on the headset, completely standalone. And ease of use of this should be pretty seamless. The catch is though, it's probably not going to be able to run all your games. It's basically a Steam Deck on your face. So I'd say if you want to play 2D games and VR games streamed from a gaming PC, the Steam frame could be worth considering. But it also has some downsides we'll talk about later. Now, the XR glasses do feel like the win here, but there are some important caveats. To use them with your phone or MacBook, you usually need to be running some sort of software that works with the glasses, and it can be a little fiddly. But the advantage of that software is it also lets you watch 3D and spatial movies within its own app, depending on the product. And if I was going on a long flight, these glasses would probably be my preferred way to watch a movie. The XR glasses work pretty seamlessly with like the Steam Deck or other portables like the Zeus ROG Ally, but if you want to use them with the Nintendo Switch, you do need to purchase additional accessories to bypass the restrictions and trick it into a dock mode. But if you've got the accessories, I personally think it works great. And if you want to take it even further, you can even connect a compatible mobile controller to your phone and stream Xbox games or even PlayStation Remote Play straight to the glasses. Again, Again, this depends on a pretty decent internet connection, but it's a pretty cool setup if that's your jam. I find one downside of the glasses though is navigating the menus. You can only use the buttons on the side of the glasses, which can be a bit finicky to find the right setting you're looking for, but the buttons can change things like viewing style or brightness or distance or things like that. I do have a dedicated video about the Beast if you want to learn more as well. So in terms of ease of use, I'm going to say the winner here is the glasses. If you just want like an easy plug and play solution, then that's a big advantage of the XR glasses. Now, we need to talk about comfort because you're wearing this thing on your face potentially for hours. It's probably the biggest important factor for me. The glasses weigh around 88 grams and they definitely feel very light. They don't seal to your face, so there's no heat and no sweat, and you can still see your environment and interact with your snacks, your phone, or even the person next to you. Whereas VR headsets are a lot heavier, around 550 grams for the MetaQuest and 440 grams for the Steam frame. So that's like 5 to 6 times heavier than XR glasses. And trust me, you feel it over a long session. VR headsets kind of seal to your face and they can warm up and get a bit sweaty, and it really shuts you off from the room. But that is exactly what you want for diving into VR games, but less so for a relaxed night in. But it depends what you're chasing, really. So when it comes to watching a long movie or getting stuck into a new game release, comfort is worth considering. But again, VR is about the immersion, so you do kind of want to be cut off from the world. As something else to consider is that VR is wireless and standalone, so you can kind of just do it anywhere, where the glasses do need to be tethered. But if you're just plugging it into a Steam Deck, it's kind of just sitting on your lap anyway, so it's not a huge downside. I do have to mention here though, the XR glasses I own do heat up. Like, you don't feel any heat on your face, but when you take them off, you're like, ooh, they're kind of hot. So just want to mention that because I think a lot of people have experienced that heat as well, but again, you don't feel it on your face. But I feel like I still definitely get way sweatier and hotter in a VR headset. So for me, the winner here is the glasses again. For comfort, they're really hard to beat. Now, next we need to talk about picture quality, and this is where it kind of splits a bit. For a flat image like a movie or a video game, the glasses look fantastic. It's really hard to showcase through like the camera how good it looks, and I was actually blown away the first time I tried these. The micro OLED panels run straight off your device, so you get a sharp picture and deep inky blacks on a screen that feels around 174 inches. Text is crisp, there's no screen door effect, and there's even a dimming feature to darken the lenses so the picture really pops. Whereas the VR headset streams that same flat content onto a virtual screen. So it comes out a bit softer, but it can make that screen even bigger. You can wrap it in a dark virtual cinema and play proper 3D and 180-degree immersive video in a way the glasses simply can't. And VR is the only one that can put you inside an actual VR game or movie. Apps like Big Screen have you sitting inside a virtual cinema with your friends, and apps like Photon can turn your normal 2D videos into 3D video with immersive lighting for a really cool effect. The glasses can't do that. They're just giving you a display output. I do want to discuss the pass-through features though. With the glasses, you're physically looking at your real life environment and you just have a display in front of you. Whereas with VR, you're getting a digital image of your environment through the cameras on the headset, which can be slightly grainy and lower res than actual real life, of course. And on the Steam frame that's coming out soon, these pass-through cameras are going to be black and white, which is a bit of a bummer, but if immersion is important to you, that's worth noting. And I'll quickly mention the Apple Vision Pro does this really well, but I don't know about you, I can't afford an Apple Vision Pro. They're like over $6,000 in Australia. I'd love to try one though, because I hear watching movies on it is fantastic. So when it comes down to picture quality, I'm gonna say it's a draw, and it really comes down to what quality means to you. Now, another important consideration is battery life. The headset runs about 2 to 2.5 hours on a charge, if you're lucky, which is enough for most films, but a long session or a double feature will have you reaching for a cable or a battery strap. The glasses don't have a battery on their own. They run off whatever you'll plug them into, so they'll last as long as your phone or Steam Deck or laptop does. And if that's plugged into power, you can go all night. The catch is they do take power from your source, so a handheld drains faster, but a cheap adapter can sort that out. The winner here, I guess I'm gonna say glasses because you can probably get more playtime, but with either of them, just finding a way to charge the device sorts it out. I've seen people using XR glasses glasses on the plane and I thought it was kind of silly. But after trying them myself, I can definitely see the appeal and really want to try it. Because depending on what you want for these, portability can be a big factor. The glasses win this in a landslide. They fold into the case the size of a glasses case and weigh almost nothing. And when you pair them with a phone or a Steam Deck, it gives you a private cinema in your bag. And it's pretty cool for an on-plane setup. The VR headset is different kettle of fish because it is bulky. It needs its own case, and if you've got controllers too, you got to take that as well. It also needs special settings turned on when flying or on a cruise because the gyroscope freaks out. So you can travel with it, but it's a bigger commitment. And say like a lot of VR games, they're not really designed for a small space on a plane. Like they're really designed for standing and having a good space around you. So the winner here again is the glasses. And I think, yeah, portability is a really strong use case for them. Now I want to cover this because I always get questions about it, and that's glasses. The XR glasses have a real advantage here. They've got a built-in focus adjustment, so if you're short-sighted, you can dial them in and ditch your glasses. VR headsets like the Meta Quest can usually fit over glasses, but it's not that comfy. But they do come with a spacer that you can add extra depth so you can fit them in a bit more easily. But you can order custom prescriptions for most VR headsets, and that is usually the best solution. Same thing with the XR glasses. So when you order them, they have options there to order a prescription insert. You just need to check if your prescription is supported. So both can be used with prescriptions. I'd say the XR glasses do not work with glasses at all. So yeah, there is an additional cost there if you want prescription inserts. Otherwise, the VR headset is probably better if you want to wear your glasses. And finally, we need to talk about price, which might be the most surprising round because it's basically a tie. The Vitcher Beast is $549 and the X Pro 1 Pro is $599, whereas the Quest 3 is $599, so it's pretty on par. There is a cheaper Quest 3S option at $349, but the lenses aren't as nice. And the Steam frame, we don't know the price yet, but I'm guessing it's going to be close to $1,000. So for almost the same price, the VR headset does dramatically more. It does VR games, mixed reality, you can watch movies, play 2D games, it does the lot. But really, it doesn't quite come down to price, it comes down to what you want to use it for. So which one should you buy? I'd recommend the XR glasses if you mostly want to watch movies and play your normal flat screen games. And the real advantage here is that it's light and comfortable, and also easy to use in most cases. So it's a great solution for just playing games on the couch or on the go. Or if someone's just hogging the TV but you still want to play your games. Whereas the VR headset is great if you want actual immersive VR, mixed reality, or the most cinematic sealed-in experience. As long as you don't mind a bit more weight and setup. I've been talking about VR for years. I love VR, and if you haven't tried it, I do absolutely love it. This channel's got a ton of VR videos if you want to check it out. But honestly, for most people who just want a big screen for movies and games, the XR glasses do win here. And from someone who's been in VR for close to a decade, I'm finding I'm reaching for the chill, easy option more and more. And that's the XR glasses. For me, it really comes down to comfort. I love VR and I talk about it all the time, but some days I just don't want to spend hours in a VR headset just to watch a movie or play some flat screen games. But if you are like me, it doesn't have to be deciding between VR and XR glasses. I have both and they serve different needs. I love VR for playing VR games, but prefer the XR glasses for flat screen games and movies. But hey, the line between VR, XR, and AR is becoming more blurred every day. And soon we may have lightweight glasses that do it all. Hopefully this video helped you make a decision. Otherwise, message me on Instagram if you've got any questions about this video. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one.